This is Francis from Easel. Today I'm going to be talking through the Easel Measurement Tool. To do that, I've got a shelf project that I've been designing that I need to make some adjustments on, and I'm going to use the measurement tool to uh, both confirm some parts of my design and then help me edit some parts of my design so they're consistent uh, as I kind of move forward. So to start, I'm just going to kind of talk through the design here really quickly. Essentially, it's a shelf with three levels. We've got a base level, a central level, and then an upper level. And then these arms hold up those bases in between. I've got these slots that are 1 inch by half an inch thick. And because my material is half an inch thick, when these pillars get cut out, they'll be half an inch thick, so when they slot in, they'll fit in just right. And then, since I'm cutting the bases out of the same material, ideally these notches are going to be half an inch um, long, and I'll be able to slot them in there without issue. But we're going to use the measurement tool to confirm that. So to start, we're just going to kind of get a closer look here. I've got these notches here. They've got dog bones in them because if I were to cut them out at this size, Easel would give them rounded corners, so those dog bones help make sure that the thing that I'm cutting is going to fit as snugly as possible, while also allowing me to keep the kind of sharp corners of my pillars. So to start, I just want to confirm that this is 1 inch wide, and if I click on the object, we can see that it says that the width is 2 inches and the height is 11 inches, but I can't really confirm what this distance is here. So I'm going to select the measurement tool here, which is this ruler icon on the left-hand toolbar. When I select it, you'll see that my mouse icon turns to a plus sign. And so when I bring it over, it butts up, and you can see it's butting up against that inside edge. And that's because I have it set to cut outside shape path. So the inside edge here is the outside edge of the object that's going to be cut out. And so this is the dimension that I'm trying to pick up. And you can see as I'm moving my mouse there, it's butting up against that cut line. And that magenta circle means that it's locked onto that line. If I gently move it away, it disappears and I can set my point wherever. But I want to set it right on here. And when I click on that, it sets a point right on that cut line. And then as I move my mouse over, I can kind of increase that distance of my measurement line, and then eventually when I get to the other end, it's going to butt up against that other interior edge of my design and create a measurement. And I can see that that measurement shows that it's 1 inch, which is exactly what I'm looking for, because that means it's going to fit into these notches that I've designed here. If I select this notch, you can see it's a little over 1 inch and 1 inch by 1.5 inches, but that's because of the dog bones. So now I need to pick up how big this dimension is here. And if I grab my measurement tool again, I can butt it up against this top here, but when I bring it down, there's nothing to connect that to indicate what my line is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my measurement, and instead I'm going to kind of bring it over here, and it's going to butt up to this magenta dotted line. And essentially that magenta dotted line is essentially an extension of this interior line, but it's extending it out, so I can pick up that measurement point outside of the realm of kind of the barrier of my object, or the barrier of my design. I can still pick up that measurement, so I can confirm that everything's working as it should. So I'm going to go ahead and select that point and then drag it down and connect it to this point here, which is kind of that other edge that I'm looking for to confirm that that's going to be half an inch, which it is. And this works really well too for anything, including the other direction here. I can pick it up, and this line extends out in this direction as well on the y-axis, and I can pick up that and move it over and catch that measurement too. I know it's 2 inches wide, but that's just another utilization of that specific feature. One thing to note really quickly is I've got this little design component here. This is for something that I can store cables in, so they'll kind of move in through the wider area and then they can kind of rest in this V shape here. One thing to kind of note is as you're picking up measurements, where those measurements lock to on that line is based on your cut path. So this, unlike this exterior object, this object is set to cut inside shape path. So my butt up, or where it butts up to, is actually on the cut path for this object, which is on the outside edge of this object, as opposed to this object where it's on the inside edge. So that's something to keep in mind as you're picking up measurements. If your cut path is incorrect, you might see inconsistent measurements, and that's something to be aware of. One more thing that I want to do here really quick is I've got these notches right here for my base, and a problem that I've got is I want them to be consistent of about 0.45 or just a little under half an inch from the edge of this base. And we can see that that's probably not likely in this scenario. So what I can do is I can grab my measurement tool and pick up again that line from the interior line of my design, and I can drag it and link it to this kind of notch cutout. And once I've linked it to this notch cutout, if I change the dimensions of this notch and where it's located on my object, that measurement line is going to update dynamically. And so I can use that to confirm that I'm exactly where I need to be, which is 0.45 away from the edge of my base. I can do that by either grabbing the object and dragging it, or you can use the arrow keys as well to move it more incrementally, which allows for a kind of a more consistent movement and just kind of more precise. And I'm going to do that here on the other side as well. And I'll just select my object and move it down. If you hold the arrow key, it's going to move just a little bit faster. And then you can kind of do the last couple individual strokes of the key separately to kind of reduce that. But now I've got that measurement consistent on either side, which is really helpful as I'm kind of designing this. And I'll have to go through and change these as well. But it's really simple. You just butt it up against that line, bring it over and link it to that line. And then I can change that dimension very easily to be consistent across the board as I'm moving through with my design. And that's a little bit more about the Easel Measurement Tool. Have a wonderful day.
To learn more, head over to easel.com.